Hey guys, what's up? This is True Voodoo. Welcome to this YouTube video. Today we're going to be discussing tanks for bonds. What they're doing is they're allowing you to buy any of these tanks listed here for bonds. And they say over time we'll add new vehicles, remove some old ones, so the lineup will change. The following vehicles are now available for bonds. And this is right when we're kicking off a new ranked season. So before I show the tanks, let me just discuss how many bonds you can get from playing one season of ranked. So this season, if you get to Division 3, which I think everyone gets to Division 3 after qualifications, you get 2,200 bonds. If you qualify and get into Division 2, you get 2,600 bonds. If you qualify and get into Division 1, it's 3,200 bonds. So that means from playing this season of ranked, if you get into the top division, you have the potential to earn a Tier 8 tank for free, which is pretty cool. If you haven't been saving your bonds and maybe you've been spending it on improved equipment because they didn't give any notice on this event, you might miss out on a chance to earn these because there won't be enough time to earn that many bonds, and who knows how long these will last. So let's jump into the tanks. So this is the M10. It's a Tier 5 French tank destroyer. Has a rotating turret. I've played this before. I personally enjoyed it because I thought the gun was very accurate and reliable. And I would say that if you had the bonds for this, it would be a good pickup because I had a lot of fun with it. The second tank would be the T-34 Shielded. The tech tree version of this tank has long been known as a great Tier 5. And I looked at the stats for this, and this is essentially the same thing, except this is giving you the tank with the 76mm gun. And on the Tier 5 regular T-34, you can put on a 57mm gun, which gives it much more DPM, which is a very popular gun to use with this tank. But I would say this tank has a good advantage because it does not have the huge cupola on the top, so you would be able to brawl better with it if you need to. And it does have higher DPM with the 76 over the T-34. I would say this is a fantastic pickup. The Panzer IV Hydrostat. From what I understand, this is a very rare tank. From what I've been told, this was released a long time ago in a $100 bundle, and the value of the tank within the bundle was the price of a normal Tier 5 tank, but the bundle itself was expensive because of gold and premium time. And so to have this tank was kind of a big deal because of how much money you had to spend to get it. And I don't believe it's been released since. I don't even know when this was put in the game. This could be a tank that hasn't been released in years as far as I know. I've played it on my Sheriff account though. I liked it because the gun felt like it had a lot of punch. The tank itself is pretty slow, and at Tier 5 most tanks don't really have armor. I think the shell velocity did feel slow. So for 3,000 bonds, that is really exciting. STG Guard. So the STG Guard is a tank that personally I wouldn't enjoy playing. It's a rear mount Russian medium tank, and it has 6 degrees of gun depression. But the problem with the rear mount turrets is that if you're on a hill, because the turret is so far back, it's not real. You don't really have 6 degrees of gun depression. It ends up feeling much worse. So this is a tank that would be kind of niche. There's not a lot that you can do with it on the battlefield. You have to play certain positions, and when you're not in those positions, it's kind of rough to play, and the DPM is kind of low on it. So I'm sure there's some people who could appreciate it. Personally, it's not a tank that I would pick up from this event. The Panzer 58 Mutz is a tank that I would say is an okay tank. I think it has a pretty good gun, and I think the turret does okay at bouncing some shots, but overall it's a tank that I don't really enjoy playing very much, and I'd rather play a tank like the T-44. And this is a tank that if I did get it, I wouldn't play it very much. So the next is the Patriot. If you get this tank, people are going to think you're really good at the game because it has 3 marks of excellence on the barrel. And this was one of the tanks that started coming out around the time of like the Defender and the Scorpion, and it was just better than the T-32, and it kind of started the trend of premium tanks power creeping all of the tech tree tanks. So this tank, if I had to choose a Tier 8 tank, this would be my #1 pickup. I think the combination of armor and mobility is pretty spot on, and this is a tank that I would definitely enjoy playing. And considering that you can earn it for free in 1 season of ranked if you do really well, that's a very good pickup. Or if you're a free to play player who's been saving his bonds, this is also a very good pickup. So the AMX M4, this is a tank that is not appreciated very much by the community. However, in my experience fighting these things, I know that the armor is very deceiving on the front. Whenever I try to shoot the low plate, I tend to bounce. It's very sloped actually, and you have to shoot more at the cupola than anything on these tanks. And the gun on these is actually good. It does have high penetration for a heavy tank. I think this is a tank that's not really enjoyed by the community at large, but I think it's better than what a lot of people give it credit for. FE215B. So this is a tank that was removed from the game at Tier 10 when they changed this Tier 10 on the British heavy tank line to the Super Conqueror. I would not get this tank and spend 12,000 bonds on it. They gave it at a slight discount. It is not worth it. You will hate it. So this is the one tank on this entire get up here that I would not recommend picking up. It was replaced by the Super Conqueror, and then it was removed from the game, so it does have a rare value to it. I've played it recently in the current meta, and it's absolute hot trash. It used to be great. It used to be one of the meta heavies because the accuracy and aim time is so good. You can basically snapshot everything. Now it just gets outplayed because the armor on it is not good enough. You just get caught on fire, engine damaged, ammo racked like every time you get hit. The front is easy, the side armor is easy, and the cupola is easy to hit. So the M60 as far as gun characteristics and handling is just like the M48 Patton. The main difference is this tank is very fast and the M48 Patton is like medium speed. Because this tank is so fast, it has no armor. It's very light. And when I play this tank, if I bounce one shot in a game, I'm very excited. Whereas in the Patton, I expect to bounce a lot of shots, especially in Tier 8 and Tier 9 games. So if you do get this tank, keep in mind that it plays more like a Leo, or you should play it like a Leo more than a Patton. If there's ever medium tanks in the game that have good turrets, you should concede the brawl points and let them have it, and you should play off and defend the area and keep them from pushing. I do think it would be an exciting pickup because there's just so much legend around the M60. It's very cool that you don't have to play Clan Wars to get this. That is very cool. And now you guys can stop bugging Meathead Militia and all of the World of Tanks staff for codes for the M60 because you can just get it for bonds. 121B. So the 121B is better, in my opinion, than the Tech Tree tank of the 121. The main reason is because the gun handling on the 121B is a little bit cleaner. Basically the same, except this has better gun handling, which makes it comfortable to play. It's still difficult. I would not want to play the 121 if I had this. At the end of the day though, it's a tank with only 5 degrees of gun depression and not very good gun handling. So you're always going to be struggling to find the right position to shoot at the enemy. They're going to be able to move in and out of cover usually quicker than you can aim to hit their weak spot. So it's a very difficult tank to play. However, I do enjoy it because it does have such high alpha. The 390 alpha is really fun. And that's it, guys. Short and sweet. Hopefully this helps you. Out of the tier 5s, the Hydrosat I would be a definite pickup for me just because of the rarity of the tank, and it's actually a good tank to play. At tier 8 it would be the Patriot, and at tier 10 it would be the M60. I think the M60 would be more enjoyable to play overall for most people. And that's it. Good luck on getting your bonds and ranked, and try not to get too triggered, and I will see you guys on the next video.